Christ. Good job, boy. I'm so proud of you. This is gonna be Beaver Bother. I promise you, this one's actually gonna be Beaver Bother.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Wainer, go off. Wainer, goof. I don't have a problem, Dad.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Part of Naomi's essence just liquefied. No, it dried up, and that's why I gotta keep drinking Gatorade. It's the wine of college students. The wine of the poor. I'm gonna cry.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Parents started crying when they caught me looking at inflation art, but they just didn't just didn't understand the funny Donkey Kong reference. Oh, I swear, it's just a video game reference. It's just a funny video game thing. It's funny. It's a joke. We laugh at it. Me when I inflate, I am overeating. Sad. Come on, come on! Lankification. They don't call him Lanky for nothing. Hey, it's me, Stan Lee. One of my favorite things to draw has been inflation art.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Whee! Hi, Stanley, go the fuck back to your coffin, boomer. Alright, I guess I'll do that. Excelsior! To infinity and beyond, that's the thing I say. I'm Stan Lee. Enough said. I loved drawing pictures of Spider-Man. But I regret that I never drew a picture of him getting his dick sucked. That probably actually exists somewhere though. It would be so nice if I got 3 more beavers in here. And you all just fucking dispersed. Great. Great. Good job. Thank you. Yeah. I'm making good time this time. You know, until they stop deciding to go in. Dude, oh my god, please. Is Stanley a bestie or a worstie? I don't know. I don't fucking know. They're running into the hole and not going in. I did jinx it. I did jinx it. Shut up. My favorite thing is when they just go into the wall. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Welcome to bonus stage.
Needed 2 names for what most people have for a first name. That makes him a worstie. Tip to fuck beats! Come on, go in, go in, go in, go in, go in, dude! Nothing.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Why don't you go in? Why don't you go in? Just stop getting on the fucking wall and go in the hole.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Welcome to bonus stage. Welcome to bonus stage.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Boner stage, penis music. I just want a grill. Dude! it!
Welcome to bonus stage.
Dude, what the fuck?
Welcome to bonus stage.
It is happening again. Oh, this Beaver
Bonus
Sea.
stage.
May, just because you hated it that much, I decided to read it out loud. 4 hours to finish the first one of these? Yeah, then you gotta do another one in Creepy Castle. Could you imagine doing this for 4 hours? I couldn't imagine doing it for as long as I've been doing it. I need a joke for the joke. Here's a joke for you! This fucking game! Yeah, I know, I already got the other one done. Believe me, that one also took me a bunch of tries. And it was 12. I'm gonna go make supper and switch to my laptop. Just don't say anything heinous while I'm gone. May is gay. May wants that Beaver Sea.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Mon's gone, we riot.
Session 15. Getting beyond a growth spurt.
A warm and heartfelt welcome to our last tape, tape 15, Getting Beyond a Growth Spurt. Now this is week 15 and the last week for you, and tonight we're going to be talking about something called growth spurts. Now some people call these reoccurrences of problems with anxiety and depression that you may experience after completing the program setbacks. I don't really like that term because to me that term implies that you're going backwards, and you're never going to go backwards. You know too much. I sat down and I really thought about this. It seems to me that whenever people who have gone through this program go through a difficult time where they're experiencing some of the old body feelings and some of the old symptoms, some of that old anxiety and depression, it never fails that there's always something going on underneath there, something that they really, really need to work through and work out and let go of. And there's something going on that they need to grow from. So that's why I thought these should be called growth spurts. And when you think about it, growing always hurts. Growing isn't easy. But when you stop growing, you stop living. So rather than scare yourself about an episode where you need to challenge yourself, a growth spurt, because I guarantee you you're going to have them, say to yourself it's an opportunity for growth. I guarantee you when you get out of this program, not only will you have growth
Program.
spurts, you're going to force yourself on a
She
subconscious
said program.
level to have them just to see if this
We're not
program
listening to
works.
tapes.
And I know some
No,
of the
we're not
people
listening
who
to
are joining me
tapes.
tonight in these tapes can relate to that. But it's like once you get out there, you've got to prove to yourself that you really got something out of all of this. So you go out and you do things and you set yourself up on a subconscious level to see if it really works. And you may even experience another panic attack. That's okay. You may never have another one again. You may be going along after about 6 months and say, gee, I really feel great, and then all of a sudden,
6 months.
whammy,
You can't stop me.
comes back, or depression comes back. Those old body feelings come on
Stop
again.
you from
And
what?
maybe you
Looking
feel,
at my
oh, no,
spreadsheet?
here I go, I'm right back where I was. But no, you cannot go back to square one again, and that does seem to be a big fear. Maybe I'm going to go backwards. Maybe I'm back where I started. Well, you're not.
I'm
You can
gonna
never
go
go back there
backwards.
again. It's kind of like learning how to ride a bicycle, or learning how to talk, or learning how to even walk. You're never going to forget how to do that, and it's the same thing with learning these skills. You may forget temporarily when you get a little bit freaked out, but it will always come back. You can never go back to who you used to be. Never, because you know too much now. Your goals this week are to praise yourself, to congratulate yourself, to get out there and live and have a ball, to be grateful and full of love and full of life, to notice how lucky you are just to be alive and to be in good health and to be in control of your life, to focus on the positive, focus on the haves in your life instead of the have-nots. Compliment yourself and people by saying good things, and don't be envious or judgmental or angry. Smile more, play more, and pray more. I want to share a quote with you from my book. We cannot tell what may happen to us in this strange malady of life, but we can decide what happens to us, how we take it, what we do with it. And that's what really counts in the end. How to take the raw stuff of life and make it into a thing of worth and beauty. That's the test of living. Let's join the group. Well, this is a happy time and a sad time for some of you, because this is the last session. And we decided to conclude the program by talking about growth spurts. And really, you could call them setbacks, I guess, but we think setbacks is a negative term, so we changed it to growth spurts. We just thought growth spurts is a little more positive, because it seems like every time
Fires
you're
and
trying
spurts.
to recover from anything, be it an anxiety disorder or a problem with depression, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And that's the way it is with this. And it's not uncommon for you to go along cruising about 6 months after you've completed the program and get hit by a whammy. Have
Grows
have
and
a what we
spurts.
call practice opportunity, which it seems to us that every time you go through that, there's something you're supposed to learn. And that's why I called it a growth spurt. Because every time you get through it, you grow a little bit more, and you become a little more comfortable
grow
with
in
yourself and the
spurts.
anxiety. BJ, we haven't had the opportunity to meet you yet, so welcome.
Thank you.
How long have you been out of the program?
About 7 months.
Okay. And
Inflation
what
is just
motivated
growth
you to order
spurts.
this home study program?
Well, obviously, I think it was anxiety.
Yeah. How long have you had it?
Well, I think I've had it almost all of my life, but at the age of 18 is when it surfaced with the symptoms. And at that point, I was looking for everything I could find, and I did find some books and reference materials. Went through counseling, went through just about every avenue that I knew to go through, and I did derive some benefit.
Right.
But when I saw the infomercial, I was very moved by it. At that point, I decided, what's $400? It's a lot of money, but not near as much as you could spend going to a psychiatrist.
That's right.
And so I got the tapes, and I was very hopeful with them coming. I couldn't wait for them to come. And I put them in, and as you had stated in the first few tapes, you might feel anxious, and I did. Felt very anxious. And I went through the entire series, and I just hearing the testimonies was just moved me so much.
Just the other people like
Yes.
you, and you weren't alone.
Absolutely. Oh, a gentleman that was on the previous tape series, Ken, I could relate to him totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't not do anything. I did everything, but I didn't do it without a tremendous amount of anxiety.
Right.
And so the tools that were provided in the tape series that you gave me to listen to were the best thing that I ever did for myself. I could pop them in any time I wanted to. I've probably listened to you over 3,000 times each tape, and tape number 8 especially. Anticipatory anxiety was I could not get enough of that tape. And it's just remarkable how it's changed my life. I'm not afraid of anxiety now. I was before. I didn't want to accept the feelings because they were so overwhelming to me. I just kept running from them. I didn't want to feel them anymore. And the more I ran, the worse it got. And now I know that I can feel them, I can accept, and I can compassionately talk to myself, and I can get through that. And it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. I get teary-eyed just talking about it because I've struggled for so many years. My best friend who's here today, I mean, she's seen me go through everything. And I am so happy. I mean, these are tears of joy because I'm finally where I want to be in my life. And it's wonderful being here. Terrific.
I am so glad you're here.
Thank you very much.
It's just moving to me to see that kind of emotion, and I cannot believe that these tapes, have given you
They have.
that kind of freedom and that kind of peace of mind. And I know, I guess, so did you get what you were hoping to get? I guess you did, didn't you?
I wanted to believe that it was going to give me everything that I thought it would, and it did. And so I guess if anybody is skeptical, you have nothing to lose by getting the tapes.
Except a lot of anxiety.
Yes. And continue to live the way you've been living. And it's years and years of suffering, and I'm now able to cope. I have tools. I have hope. My children, I can pass it on to them. I'm a single mom. My sister just passed away last October, and it was a very difficult time, but life is so much better now. And I just don't hesitate to get the tapes. Just don't.
Mike, this is a pretty hard one to follow here. But I guess what I want to know is, did you get what you wanted to get?
Oh, most definitely. When I got to the program and was doing great, and everything was going well and stuff, at that especially the first initial time, I would talk to people. I was a youth pastor at the time. I'd meet people who would come my way who had this condition, and I would just say this to them. This is well before I ever came to give seminars at the Midwest Center. I would say, whatever you do, go by this program. And the line I would say, no, it's not a line. This is what I meant. I'd say it every time. This program cost me $400, and if it was $4,000, I would have found the money and paid for it from whatever I know. And I was almost at the point of selling my car to do counseling. It was just basically taking me to my childhood, telling me I was sexually abused when I wasn't. And so this was, in all honesty, this was the cheapest thing I ever spent my money on. As far as price-wise, the least expensive. And it turned my life around.
Can you imagine what your life would be like had you not found the program?
I don't really want to think about it. No, I don't want to think about it. And I look at Carolyn and such people who suffered for 30 years, and I just go, how'd you do it? How'd you do it?
How'd you survive through it?
I just survived 30 years.
Okay. Jan, you have this list that I think is really incredible, and I want you to read through it. You doing okay, BJ? Okay. If you could just share that with us, just kind of summarize some of them if you can. But you made this neat little list of what you got out of this 15-week course.
Well, not only what I got, but what keeps me going.
Yeah.
It's difficult. You worry about falling back, but then I think of all these tools, and I just keep right on going.
And especially you, because when it's easy to sit here and when you're healthy and say, okay, I can go. But you had a heart attack, and some people are dealing with cancer or something. You might be dealing with something. You might be in a wheelchair. You might have MS. I don't know what you're dealing with when for those of you who are watching. And so Jan has to keep herself positive, and she could easily scare herself about having another heart attack. And it's something you have to learn to constantly work on, I think, because of that, the illness issue, the health issue. So what do we have here?
Okay, well, I started out with something you said in one of your books was to change the what-if scenario. I was always busy. What if I went there and I got sick? And what if I had another heart attack? Or what if somebody saw me and I fainted? And what if I couldn't handle the situation? Well, then I thought to myself, what if, in your book you said, what if you don't go and you miss the best time of your life? What if all the rest of the people there had a good time and you didn't, and you were sitting at home feeling sorry for yourself?
That's right.
And I've done that so many times and been so thankful for that. Changing what from being an overreactor to just how I react to situations, to become less affected. Identifying what's really bothering me at the time. If I start to get a little anxiety, I stop and think, now there's something causing this.
Yeah.
What actually is on my mind? What have I seen? What have I heard? Who have I talked to? And that makes a big difference. Relaxing my breathing under stressful situations. It's a simple thing to do, but it takes a very little time, and it can snap you right back. Fill myself with positive self-talk. Instead of getting down on myself, reassure myself.
Comfort yourself.
Right.
Compassionate self-talk.
Don't run away from any situations or confrontations. Break through that wall. That was a very important step for me.
Face it.
I
Face
didn't
your
like
fears.
confrontations, and I didn't want to be any part of them. Now it's other people's problems. If it's their confrontation, I don't have to be involved in that. I can be there, but I don't have to partake in that confrontation. Another thing that helps me is to remember that anxiety is just a state of mind, that I'm creating it for myself.
It's a thought. That's right.
Stop obsessing by telling myself that that's what the old me would do. In the heart condition, you know, if I start getting a little nervous or panicky over worrying about it, I think, no, don't obsess about it, don't think about it, change your mind, go do something, get up, clean your closet, as you would said on the tape. Learn to recognize and know the difference between anxiety and excitement. If in a heart condition, if your heart starts pounding, you think, uh-oh, what am I going to do now?
Especially in a heart condition.
Right. And is my anxiety going to cause another problem? And I said, oh, wait a minute, I'm just excited. I'm not, this isn't anxiety, it's just excitement. To remember that panic is only a memory. Different places where I would go where I'd had a panic attack. Sometimes for a long time I would walk in and I'd think, oh boy, is this going to happen again? Yeah. And Ken Howell in group said, this is just a memory. It's not a panic. It's not any reason to get excited. I try not to watch things on TV or listen to conversations that would scare me. Because we adapt so many of those situations to our lives and think, oh, well, they had that symptom, I bet I've got that symptom too. And then at home within 2 days, I've got that same symptom. So if I see something like that, I try to stay completely away from it. Remembering that acceptance is 2/3 of the program, I think. Knowing that you have this problem and that you're dealing with it and that you can deal with it. There are so many other conditions that you can't deal with. Mm-hmm. And this is one that can be remedied.
This concludes side 1 of this tape. To continue, please fast forward and turn the tape over.
Praising myself for accomplished situations. Anything that I do now that I couldn't do before, I remind myself that it's because of the program I'm able to do this. And now not allowing things to scare me anymore. I would be like a snowball going downhill. If one thing scared me, I would think of about 5 or 6 other things in conjunction with those that would continue to scare me, and I try to put that stop sign up and stop it right there. Remembering that there are other people, and this has been a great experience, knowing there are other people just like me who've went through the same situation, are all recovering, alone. And you're not by yourself. And that I have nothing to fear but fear itself. Remind myself that anxiety is always worse during certain times during PMS, or if I'm extremely tired, or if I've had a lot of caffeine. I try to stay away from the caffeine, but if I stop and analyze,
right,
you know, what's going on, it's usually one of those 3 things at the time that's causing the anxiety. And the last thing was that I'll never go back to where I was before because I've worked too hard and come too far to allow myself to ever feel that bad again. And it just makes a really big, huge difference.
That's a great list. And I think the importance of this session is to reinforce that life will bring you challenges and experiences where you're going to need to pull out those skills, if not pull out the tapes, maybe, and use those again to get through a rough period. Can you relate, Tammy? Have you had a growth spurt at all?
I remember listening to Carolyn on the tapes, and she said I didn't have growth spurts. She called it building emotional muscle. Mm-hmm. And after hearing the tapes, I can say that I have not had a setback the way I used to have setbacks.
Anxiety, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been back to square one.
Okay.
I've not...
and I don't think you ever will go back to square one.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think when I feel like that, I try to think now, you know, what's causing this? How can I grow from this situation? What can I do different? I'm a good problem solver. Mm-hmm. What can I do to solve this problem? And just get to it. Stop.
What can I do to solve this problem?
You know, pick up the phone or, you know, do what I have to do, and that relieves my anxiety. And I feel good that I can take care of my own problems.
Are you still afraid of your anxiety?
No. I mean, sure, you don't want to feel like that again. It's a terrible feeling, and I can remember that, but I can handle it. Just a couple months.
Oh, well, you're still pretty green, too.
Yeah.
Because I can honestly say I am no longer afraid of anxiety. I'm not afraid of depression. I'm not afraid of a panic attack. And I think it's, you know, you'll get to that point completely someday,
yes, I
you know,
so.
But it takes a little time. And, you know, I've been recovered now for about 15 years. So, you know, and then that's that overall feeling of knowing you're going to be okay and take care of yourself, and no matter what. Mike, you just recently had a growth spurt. Would you like to share your picture of why you had a growth spurt with us?
I've come to realize that Mike Lugosh doesn't like change very much.
Yeah, and this is a pretty big change in your life.
Yeah. About 3 weeks ago.
Can we zoom in on this little growth spurt that he's about to show us?
My wife had little Ethan Jesse.
Really
and,
cute.
My growth spurt actually started, I think, when we decided to have a baby. And I started to get anxious again after 4 years of just doing wonderful, getting married and all kinds of things. And the interesting thing was my anxiety was not in thoughts. In other things, in other ways. And just going back to the program again and saying, okay, we've got to reevaluate this. We have to look at things differently. We have to work with it again. I'm going to be okay. It's going to be all right. It's just a season, and it does happen. And it really surprised me because I really believed that I would never have a growth spurt to that degree.
Right.
And it just made me aware that, hey, this can happen, and it's okay.
And see, I remember talking to you about this last night, and I have had growth spurts too, and the one that I remember specifically, and they do tend to come on when you're stressed out. That's when they tend to come on, when you're, and you may not even know it, like you didn't even know it. You were talking about having a baby, but the thought of that whole responsibility issue, and then you had the baby, and then, you know, it's just a lot. And I remember when my sister was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and we knew that, you know, it wasn't good. And I don't know, I just thought my sister, and I know you can relate to this because you've lost your sister. That was my only sister. Was that your only sister? Yeah. Oh, it's so hard. I mean, I thought that she would be with me forever. You know, we'd get old together. And I remember when we got this news, and things just did not go well at all. And I was up in our farmhouse, and I was in the closet, and I was putting clothes in the closet, and my mind was racing, you know. She wasn't my safe person, but in a way she was. She was my big sister, and she was there for me my whole life. And it's even hard for me to talk about now, but I remember standing in that closet, and I started to cry, and I started to hyperventilate, and I got really scared at the thought of losing her. And I thought, how can I live without her? And I'm just going to lose it. But anyway, and I really thought I was going to lose my mind. And I haven't had that feeling. And it was the fear for that one fleeting second. I walked out and I sat down on the bed, and the room felt strange, and I looked outside, and it was a sunny, beautiful day, and I didn't care, you know, because it just didn't matter. And I remember thinking the reality that I would probably not have her around just overwhelmed me. But the difference was I knew why, and I could talk to myself, and I worked my way through it, and I survived, and I'm surviving now. You know, although when you lose somebody like that, you lose part of yourself. Just part of you dies with them, and you know, there's just you got to go on. You live your life. You even almost feel guilty once you get beyond the real horrible grief, and you do smile again or laugh again. It's like, oh, you almost feel like I shouldn't be laughing and I shouldn't be smiling because that person's gone, but you get over that too, and then you get on with your life. But you know, that was a real growth spurt for me, very, very challenging. So you will be faced. One thing life offers us a lot of are opportunities for growth and lots of challenges. And so don't let those scare you, because what you do is you pick up these tapes and you get right back in there, or you pick up your workbook, or you go get this book. Have any of you read this book? Yeah. It's not the program, and it's not gonna, you know, cure you, I don't think, from an anxiety, although people seem to, you know, enjoy it and get a lot from it. But it's more, I think, a really nice follow-up, because you can open it anywhere and just reaffirm what you've already learned here, you know. And any other books you can get, and little positive things that you can just keep on your wall or on the refrigerator or in your life or by the bed, so that you can just keep yourself motivated and keep yourself feeling good. So I guess the bottom line is, you are where you want to be, and you're going where you want to go, and you're feeling good about what you've gotten from this program.
Can I read you a letter? That's kind of corny because I wrote it to myself.
Sure.
Dear Tammy, I know you're scared. It's okay. When you face your fears, I will be with you, but not like before. Not to judge you or criticize you, but to love you and support you no matter what. I am so proud of your courage and for always doing your best. Your body is strong and your mind is healthy. Take this opportunity to live and grow. Go to the edge and fly.
Go to the edge and get in the hole!
To myself, because I never felt like I supported myself
That's like in the
for the
poem.
things. Yes.
Come to the edge. No, we're afraid.
Beavers!
Come to the edge. No, we're afraid.
Beavers!
He came to the edge, and he pushed them, and they flew. And that's what we're all about. That's what this program is all about. And it's not easy, and it's very scary. And sometimes you're looking over the nest going, ah! But that's why I tried jumping out that nest without any skills, which is what so many of us have tried for so many years. And that's why we couldn't fly. But now you've got all the skills you need. You've got a wonderful support system. Yeah, and you got a lot of people who have done it. And if they can do it, you can do it. Is there anything I left out here, guys, about change? And let me just look, because there's a little segment a little thing out of this book that I want to share with you. I think that's pretty cool. It's at the end of the book. I wrote, "I'm so grateful that I've conquered my fears and anxieties. I want the same thing for you, so that you can experience life to its fullest. When I focus on the simple things, I remember my good fortune to have my life. I love to smell and experience the world. My eyes can't get enough of all the beauty. Now when I sit and hold my children, I'm in the moment, smelling their hair, holding their little hands, watching their eyes sparkle when I tell them stories. No longer am I obsessing about some distant catastrophe. I'm there in the moment. When I'm with my husband, I'm enjoying the intimacy and the affection, his warmth and touch, the sun of his skin. No longer am I analyzing a week-old problem and worrying about the day to come. I'm in the moment. When I'm by myself driving in my car along a country road, I'm immersed in the smells of the country, the colors and the sky, the music. No longer am I fearful of losing my mind, crashing the car and running off the side of the road. When I fly in a plane, I sit back and relax and gaze out the window at the beauty of the sky below and the magic view. I chat with the people beside me, no matter what they look like or who they are, because it's an opportunity to hear a story. Life is full of precious moments. Many of them come without effort. Most of them are free.
looking out the window.
Wallow in them. Let yourself be less anxious. Let yourself be happy.
Oh, I'm
Allow
looking out the
yourself to be
window.
free. My heart and prayers are with you on your path to peace. That's what this is really. It's a path to peace of mind, which I think is like, I don't know, one of the most valuable things you can have in your life.
The most valuable thing.
Yeah.
I think that's really the most freeing part of the whole program, is that you can have the peace and happiness again that you've missed for years.
And it'll even be better than it was
Go
before.
in.
That's right.
You know?
Go in.
Because you're just more in tune with your
Go
body, more in tune with your
in.
emotions, and more in tune with being what you can be. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. This has been a real honor for me, and I wish you the best that life has to offer. I am just so honored that these people shared their stories with us on these tapes, and I think you can hear and see, if you're watching the videos, how
I spurted. How many viewers did I lose?
Okay.
Alright, where's the banana? Did I grab it? There it is.
Okay. Okay.